Okay, it's the 4th of July. Okay, cheer. And this should be from Rarewave's US site, which it is. It is. Halloween, the Rob Zombie Ultimate, Unrated Collector's Edition. So yeah, this cost me, I think it was £12 or something along those lines. So yeah, this never got released on Blu-ray here in the UK. It's also annoyingly one of those thinner cases which a lot of Blu-ray cases. This is a very thin one actually, a very thin Blu-ray case. It's one of them thin, cheap ones. Oh god, it feels very, very flimsy. But yeah, this never got a Blu-ray release here in the UK. It did in Germany, eventually. However, the German release is not as good as the US release. And I'll tell you why. So, what the hell? This has only got disc 1. Where's the second disc? This is meant to be the 2 disc. I swear on the listing it said 2 disc version. Yeah, it does. It says 2 disc version. That's not a 2 disc version. That is not the 2 disc version. This is the 1 disc version. I didn't want the 1 disc version. I ordered the 2 disc version. And they've sent me a 1 disc version. And it even says disc 1 on there. The fact that it still says... So yeah, I'm going to have to contact Rarewaves about this, their eBay site, so yeah. But what I was going to say, I might as well say it, is that the German release, which is usually £1 or 2 cheaper, that one, the second disc is just a DVD rather than a Blu-ray. Whereas the US version, both discs are Blu-ray. Now, I think everything that's on that bonus disc, which is basically the making of documentary, is in standard definition, but I'd rather it on Blu-ray anyway, because then, for one, it won't be a PAL conversion, it'll be, you know, the proper NTSC version, but also, basically, Blu-ray has a much better encodec, AAC, I think it is, the encoding on there, so it'll still be slightly better, and for about the same price, but yeah. That's irritating that they've sent me the 1 disc version. I did not realise that. But yeah, they've sent me the 1 disc version, which, again, looks very similar to the, so I think, yeah, they've sent me accidentally the wrong version. Well, I'm hoping that's the case, but yeah, I'll have to contact them. Alright, it's the 9th of July, and got the light snap back on because, yeah, British weather, very inconsistent. Anyway, a quick little update. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but Rarewaves eventually gave me a refund for this, just like a full refund. Initially, when I contacted them they said, oh, we can offer you a 20% refund and that if you're willing to keep it. And I then messaged them saying, well, no, I don't want to keep it, I want the correct version. And that I paid for, and I don't think they bothered reading that message, because literally 30 seconds after I sent that message, I then got a message back saying, oh, after further talks with my colleagues and that, we have decided to issue you a full refund and you don't have to return this, because, yeah, basically, I think what happened is they put the wrong listing up or something like that. Correct, did have the wrong information. For those who are wondering, I ordered the 2 disc version of this, and this is only the 1 disc version. Yeah, which still alludes to being 2 discs, because obviously it says disc 1 on that. But yeah, so basically I got this for free. And yeah, getting the US version is more expensive. Thankfully, though, I did find someone who did actually have the special feature from the bonus disc, because the bonus disc just has one special feature, which is a 4.5 hour long documentary, and I found someone else who had it, so I just took a rip of that off them. So yeah, because to be honest, the making of documentary is more really interesting than the film itself, to be honest. And what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, surprised this still hasn't had a 4K release. It technically can't. In fact, neither of these can have true 4K releases. And the reason is they were shot on 16mm film. And the reason they were shot on 16mm film is because Rob Zombie, one of his most favourite films, is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was shot on 16mm film. So basically, that's the reason why these two Halloweens were shot on 16mm film. And the problem is 16mm film isn't really quite 4K. It's equivalent to a 2K master. Nevertheless, though, still saying that you can still do a 4K scan of it. And also, you can still have true HDR with it as well. But yeah, hopefully if Scream Factory, because who else is going to do it, if Scream Factory do eventually get the rights to it, because they have had the rights previously in that Halloween 2014 complete collection box set. Obviously now not complete. But yeah, if they do, hopefully they include both cuts of the film. Anyway, got a record here. This is from Rare Waves as well, Rare Waves US. Oh no, that is not a good sign. These... oh, I can just see it sliding around there. These are not very good vinyl boxes yet. I don't know if they're better or worse than what they were using beforehand, but they're not good. They are rigid. They are very rigid, but they're not... as you can see, I don't know if you can see there, they're very, very thin. Oh no. Yep, there's chemics to the back, and actually it's warped. I can already tell, looking at that's warped. Yeah, we'll open it and see how bad it is, but yeah, I'll contact Rare Waves. Maybe they might offer me something, because there's also a bit of damage there at the bottom as well. But yeah, that's... I can already tell that is... I don't know how that's coming across on camera, but that is slightly warped. Which, yeah, I wish they'd improve their packaging for these, to be honest. Yeah, actually, how bad is the record? Yeah. This is unavailable in the UK, by the way. At least because of vinyl record. It's available on CD. This is just cardboard sleeve, this. Yeah, it's slightly warped. Not too bad, I guess. If I like hold it in the middle, I don't know if you can see that, but it kind of... it basically droops inwards towards the middle. And that... like basically it's a bit concaved on this side and convex on that side. It's like pushing up towards the middle on this side and then going slightly downwards and that, though it's hard to really show it on camera because it is slight, but immediately you feel it in hand where this is pushing down. So that's irritating. But yeah, this was £27 something as well. No download code. Yeah. Okay, so bit of damage there as well. Yeah, basically that. And you might be thinking, oh, who cares about that? Who cares? You see on there? And that there. And the thing is, I care. Because records are very expensive. You know, if you wanted to just buy a copy of this album, you could get a CD of it brand new for £6. At HMV, I believe it is currently. I think it's £6 there. Or a used copy, like a couple of quid. But yeah, I mainly got this for I Hate Everything About You and that. Yeah. Unfortunately, this vinyl release is just the standard album, so it's only got 12 tracks. Whereas later editions that came out long before this vinyl release are... Did I mention made in Czech Republic, it says there. The deluxe edition, which is the digital version I have, that has 16 tracks on it, has an extra 4 tracks, and it has a couple of acoustic live performances on there, so disappointing that this isn't the case. I know why they do this. The reason they do this is usually for a couple of reasons. Number one, it means they can make this a single LP as opposed to a double, because they can fit all the tracks on just a single LP. Number two is basically if they ever decide, oh, let's do a re-release of this, they can make that one a 2LP and add the extra tracks. This has been done before. This happens before quite a lot, which is irritating a lot of the time. It is irritating, especially when, you know, the standard version was basically the deluxe version from, like, especially like if it's a day one deluxe version, the vinyl will never be that. So yeah, for example, well, in some cases they never bother. I'll give you an example. Gorilla's Humans. Despite what version you get, even the out of print, I think it was a £200 or £300 box set, just the standard version of the album. If you wanted the deluxe 30, I think it's a 30-track version of the album, only available physically on CD. Same thing with most of our albums. Obviously, recently on Record Store Day, they did the deluxe version of Cracker Island, which was 2LP, and that was 50 quid. 50 quid for, I think it was 4 or 5 extra tracks on there? Like, basically, you know, double the price, actually more than double the price of the standard editions. And that, so, yeah, but I'm going to contact Rare Waves. Hopefully, you know, they'll just offer me a 20% refund, because sending things back to the US is a pain in the backside. And also gets expensive, so, yeah. But as I said, they just need to improve their packaging. Like, their customer service is usually pretty good. Not quite as good as it used to be, but still normally pretty good, but yeah, there we go. Okay, it's the 11th of July today, that's the one. And I've got some cassettes here to show you. I've got today. So, yeah, I'll start in the order I found them. I got these all from the same place, and I'll talk about the pricing at the end. So first thing, we've got the Lion King soundtrack. Yeah, the original. I might need to clean, well, I definitely will need to clean these. A little bit sticky. That's a little bit sticky there. Hopefully the tape's alright. They might need re-lubricating, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not, who knows. But yeah, this is the soundtrack to The Lion King on cassette, which is getting a Zoetrope vinyl release coming out soon. I do love that original artwork, by the way. Ooh, you can see this case is filthy. Ooh, it's a big booklet. Which, yeah. So on this side we've got all the copyright information here, and then starting here, there's the lyrics to Circle of Life, Hakuna Matata, and obviously all the others, and that lyrics and that on the other side there. So yeah, that's nice. So there's that. second one I spotted. This one does have a price tag on. You can see it's got a £3 sticker on. I'll talk more about that in a second. What I'll do is I'm going through these. Oh, great. Great. It's one of those ones that doesn't want to bloody peel off properly. And yes, I do need to cut my nails. I know, I'm aware. Because there'll be someone in the comments who says that, and it's just like, by the time you said that, I've already done it. But anyway. So, yeah, I've only ever had the single, Heaven is a Place on Earth. Never had the full album. On any format, so, yeah, here it is. I wonder if this is the original box for it. Just because it does cut it off a little bit there. I'm wondering if this originally had a clear case. There we go, there's that one. It does have a couple of cracks on it. Well, again, can easily replace the cases. Third one, Rick Astley. Again, it's got a £3 sticker on it. Hey, that one peeled off in one go. But yes, this has Never Gonna Give You Up on here. Tape itself. This, I can tell by the looks of this, this is a cheap cassette they've used for this one, which, yeah, it was. So I don't think it's a bit. Booklet is a little bit stuck together. There we go. Yeah, hopefully it won't stick back together now. Let's see. Nope. Okay, good. I think possibly what's happened there is the lining over time. Oh, this just came off. Yeah, this is a very cheap cassette box, cheap cassette release. Hopefully audio quality will be alright. There we go. And the final one, Aqua. Again, this has got a £3 set. Will this one come off in one? Just about. Bubble Mix. Now, what this has on it. Also, just to point out, you can tell this is a late release, and I don't know if this actually was released in the UK as a cassette like this, because look at the box. It's actually one of the late slim cassette boxes. If I just compare it to like a regular one, you can see the two of them. I'll get them together. You see, considerably thinner. So yeah, they were basically trying to make them that bit smaller. Not that common on album releases, but blanks it was. But yeah, this was designed. I think it was designed for this type of case. I don't know, but also, the way. Actually, this box wasn't designed for this. I can just tell the way it's folded up like this. It was not designed for this type of box. I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to try and find another box for it. Because, yeah, look at that. It wasn't designed for that type of box. Because this has, someone says, yeah, look, TDK. I don't think you can see that. Just there. TDK. So yeah, this was a blank TDK cassette box. Yeah, but originally it would have been in a box like that. So, alright, I'll plonk this to one side. I'll keep this box because it will be useful for something. Some cassette releases, maybe a blank. Maybe I might do is swap one of my blank cassette boxes with that. I do have, in fact, actually. Oh dear. I just knocked them off. I just knocked them all off. The cassettes. Hooray. There's one here. Oh, it's got hubs on it. I need a one without hubs, that's the thing. Because this one is designed for one without the hubs. Here's some blanks I've got here. That one's got hubs. That one's got hubs. I think... Is that one Big Smith? I'm just looking through these blanks. That one's a chrome. That one's a chrome. That one's got hubs. That one's got hubs. And that one's got hubs. That's the problem, they've all got hubs. I could snap some off. Ideally I don't want to do that. There's one more back there. And that one's got hubs. So, yeah, unfortunately all of these would basically break or pierce the artwork here. As you can see, it's already pressed against it slightly, and they've folded it over as well, which means they've got a crease on it. So yeah, quite colourful this actually. But yes, this does have Barbie Girl on there. And it also has Dr. Jones. If we look at the tape itself, yeah. Also has that on the cassette itself. Let's fold this thing back up. So, Barbie Girl is the Dirty Rotten Scoundrel Clinical 12-inch mix. Okay. And Dr. Jones is the Anti-Loop Club mix. I don't know if those are the regular versions, or not, but I'll find out when I listen to it. But yeah, for example, the regular version of Eiffel 65 Blue is actually the Ice Pop mix. So, yeah. But this would have been originally released in a cassette box that doesn't have these two bits of plastic which hold the hubs in place. So, yeah, I've got to try and find a cassette box that doesn't have them, or... Where's that box I just had a minute ago? Either that or snap these ones off. And though if I did, I'd have to also file them down so they were completely smooth. And I don't know if it would have came in a box this slim anyway, so I don't know. I'll keep my eye out, because those ones are less common than obviously a standard cassette box, because otherwise I would just switch it with one of my blanks. But anyway, all four of those cassettes, apart from the Lion King, which didn't have any price on it, all four of them were marked as £3 each, and this was from a collector's shop in Sunderland. And if you watch my 6X search for memorabilia, it'll be number 7, episode 3 probably, or episode 2. You'll actually see footage of inside that shop. I don't know when that video will be coming out because I'm still busy recording it. But anyway, it's a very expensive collector shop, and I think this might be the first time I've ever bought anything from in there, because everything in there is ridiculously expensive. They also have their classic games and consoles and everything there. Again, ridiculously expensive. For example, I'll give you an example. The guy at one point had an original PS1, just the console, PlayStation 1, with a controller. And he wanted, I think it was £130 for it, which is ridiculous. For that console, like the PS1, the console itself is almost worthless. Like most people who get a PS1, the console itself is just more of a collector's piece. Not the controllers, and definitely not the games, but the console itself basically is. And the reason is obviously because why would you get that when you can play them on a PS2, and the PS2 has PlayStation 1 hardware in there already, and it actually cleans up PS1 games a little bit. So yeah, and you can use all the accessories and everything with it. So it's one of those consoles that's just like, why we get. And especially if you have a PS3, it plays PS1 games as well and cleans them up even better. It's doing it through emulation, because it doesn't have any of the hardware in there, but still it runs and looks great in them. But yeah, there's the console itself, like, you can only get that dirt cheap. Like even CEX, is pretty cheap on that. It's usually, well, it was under £50. I don't know about now, but it was like £30 to £50 depending on the condition and everything. I don't know if that's still the case now, but that was just something I saw at the time. But yeah, but for some reason these cassettes, and I think just because they're cassettes, and the guy probably thought they were worthless. I say that, I've never seen him. I think I've seen him a grand total of once in that place. Because every time I go in there, he is never there. The shop is open. It's open, but it's not there. What happens is, there's a woman who owns like a completely different shop. I think it's a place that sells wool and bits and stuff like that, who's literally just across from this collector shop, and she basically will like run the shop in his absence along with her own, but she never goes in there, and that you just come across to her, and assumingly he'll give her the money. I don't know if they're married or just have no relation to each other other than just like they own shops across the road from each other. But anyway, I came across these 4 cassettes, and I said to her, is there any kind of deal I could get for buying all 4 of them? And she said, oh, have you got any cash? And I went, I've got a £5, and she said, yeah, I'll take that. So yeah, I basically paid a £5, so it would have been £1.25 each, and rather than paying £12. So yeah, because ideally I wanted to maybe get 4 of them for £10. That was my strategy, and that, but £5, bloody hell. So yeah, waffled on a bit as I normally do with these. So yeah, but there you go. That went pretty well. I was happy with those cassettes, and unlike most people who buy cassettes, a lot of people who buy like new cassettes who don't have a cassette player of any kind, or if they do, it's a terrible one. I do actually listen to them. In fact, I was listening to Elton John beforehand, and that I listen to cassettes pretty much every day. Not out and about generally, but at home on my cassette deck and that, yeah, because it does give them. The thing is, cassettes can sound good. They can sound good if you've got decent equipment. If you don't, they'll sound shit. They will, basically. And when I say good, I don't mean high end. Like what I've got there like none of the cassette decks or players that I have are high end or high end. They're, you know, maybe like the ones I currently got and use are like, you know, just past mid range, depending on what era they're released. Like, but like mid to upper mid range, and that I'd say probably upper mid range because some of the, depending on the era, like a lot of them don't have Dolby noise reduction though. I never use that. Just because I find it makes cassettes, even ones that do have Dolby on and proper and that, I just find they sound better without it. Yes, it does reduce the noise, but it also does make them sound a little bit more muffled as a result. So, yeah, I'm sure some audiophile is not going to be happy about that, but then again, I'm listening to cassettes, so... But yeah, that was a waffle on, wasn't it? I hope you enjoyed the waffle on bit, because otherwise this would have been a very short unboxing bit there. So yeah, there we go, people. There we go. Alright, so it's still the 11th of July. I forgot to mention this, which is a 200th anniversary Dairy Milk bar. Doesn't say limited edition, though it will be. But yeah, this is different from these, which are the other 200th anniversary limited edition Dairy Milk bars, which basically were Dairy Milk bars that had basically previous logos and branding and that on there. There was 7 of them, including the modern one. But yeah, they've done another one. They've done this one, which is kind of taking elements from the original. But you can see this is only available in a large bar. I think this might be one of the largest ones that they do. And that, or at least the largest, like, standard type ones that they do. But yeah, this thing is bloody £4.50. So, yeah. But there we go, I'm going to have to stop the recording now because my camera battery is going to die.